It's like, I'm not that bad of an addict, you know? And I was like, oh, okay, my bad.
I drank for 15 years, Gone Girl level, and I still have fans and the dudes I boink giving me whiskey kisses. You know, like literally just like putting the taste of alcohol in my mouth or cheeks, like, grow up. Like, I'd fire that dude right away. I'd be like, what the fuck did you just say?
Why are you infantilizing Dusty Slay, dude?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Did you tell Dusty that like they said that you're a problem and that if I'm around you, you're gonna like snap and relapse and I can assault an audience member or something?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Anyways, Hannah.
Hannah, how do you pronounce your last name?
Roeschlein.
Roeschlein.
No rush line.
Take your time.
That is not
Roeschlein.
how I would have phonetically sounded that out.
For sure. It's German AF.
Yeah.
You know, looks like Hitler's buddy's last name. And then I have a Lisa Ling face, so people get really fucked up about it.
Sure.
I thought it was the EIN. I was thinking Jewish, but like, I don't know, I was thinking it was like Roeschlein. I don't know.
So
I don't know
full
how-
transparency. I walked in and saw you and nodded or something and went about my day. Samson said, we're going to do a podcast with Hannah. I know your name's Hannah, and we met you at some point. That's it, though. So I'm sure you've been on interviews and stuff where people have asked, like, how are you? Where are you? Dare I even say, what are you? So the question, I guess, is, Hannah, when are you?
When?
Mm-hmm. Take your time. No rush, line.
When am I?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going into 10 days of silent meditation tomorrow.
Of course. Oh,
And this is
it's good practice.
This is something, yeah, it is. This is something I'm going to carry on tomorrow in with me as a prompt. When am I?
When are you?
I am forever. I am always.
I wanted to say something creepy like that. You know how I believe in reincarnation. So like, been here, done that.
Yeah.
Am still doing that.
Rootin' and tootin'.
Rootin' and tootin'.
For sure.
But I know that you're really trying to get at, you know, what the guy at the ICE agent at Buc-ee's was when he was like, identify your strain, weird boy.
That is what I was getting at. What are you? Identify your strain. That's a new way to say that. I haven't
Yeah,
heard
it's
that.
a
That's
nice way
fun.
to, yeah.
It's exotic. That's
An oriental doll with a hillbilly drawl.
yo.
It's
That's
for
fun.
someone. Yeah, no, it's not fun.
Is that gonna be the name of your like a comedy album we hear someday?
Not that one. I mean, my first one was Asian American Psycho, so that already is
sorry.
like exactly in pocket.
Wait. Okay, so you said you're doing are you actually doing a 10-day silent what is I know about as much about that as I do about you. I know it's called 10-day silent meditation. I barely know its last name. I just learned it 20 seconds ago.
So on this particular one, I'll be at a retreat center in Lava Hot Springs, Idaho.
Gorgeous.
I chose it out
This
of
is the high dive.
the 16 or so centers that are across the United States for the type of meditation that I'm doing is called Vipassana. Vipassana is the Buddhist tradition of meditation.
Oh.
So in this particular retreat, it will be 10 days of not only silence, but 90 hours of seated meditation will go on during that time. No phone, no substances, you know, so that'll be me coming off of weed, coffee, and sugar, which I've already had today. Shout outs to me for getting cleaned out before I went in, like I have talked to myself about for the past 6 weeks. Any day now. Maybe just meditate for 30 minutes since you're going to do 9 hours a day. And that's maybe like 5 times the amount I normally do, and I really get it in. So
It feels like going into an ultra marathon with like
no
little
training.
to no training.
Like it's like me showing up tomorrow. I mean, with some training, because like I've meditated other strains, and even this particular strain, as I like to call them,
high school.
yeah. But I mean, for 5 years, like where currently I do more meditation in a week than I do comedy, and comedy is my job.
Mm-hmm.
So that shows you where it is, but it's still maybe an hour and a half maximum a day, not 9. So it's like basically like we're talking about. Like it feels like I'm going into an Ironman, and I used to run in high school.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you also have to swim basically like 5 miles, and then you're gonna like bike a Tour de France, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. One time I saw a bike, and I've never put that down, all of that for that long, and all of that together, huh? So cool. But that's what I'm going into.
Is the meditating like what you think of, like the just thing, or is there something that
this particular tradition? Some will be just like there's like time where you can just go sit down and be quiet, and that's what it will be. And then other times we'll be in hall all together, and there'll be like a facilitator leading us through a guided style. Because in the Vipassana tradition, there'll be sometimes like guided meditations where they'll do like a Dharma talk before or after to talk about like everything that's happening. But then you will do like basically like a guided body scan.
Are you trying to fix something, or is this just like a experience you want to have, or
all of the above on that?
Okay.
It's kind of freaked me out a little bit. I think the people that know me, they're a little bit concerned that I'm going to come in and like not necessarily suffer a psychotic break at the end, but just like potentially come out completely different as far as like not wanting to do comedy the way that I do, or just having like a deep, firmware update, so to speak. And I hold space for that. I wish I kind of like knew a little more going into it, but I think sometimes on stuff like this, it's just meant to be hard, and like to have any kind of like pre-cum about it is just like,
oh,
like there'll just be like certain things that I know will pop up that I can't see coming from, the forest for the trees. And then there'll be other things that I'm like putting emphasis on that may not bother me at all.
Gotcha.
So I didn't really look too much into it. I just like, I know the style of meditation. I saw what they asked us to leave at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that sounds like the hardest thing I could do at any given time. And I like doing things like that also, though, from like mountain climbing to other things that just like remind me how like pedestrian and small anything in comedy is at any given time. Like never a 60-minute special could make you feel that way. The 10 days will feel in like basically a sensory deprivation tank with nothing but like quiet for your subconscious to have nothing to chew on. Because usually it's like and I'm even holding space where it's like, oh, bro, the dreams that I could potentially have, like when you get into those kinds of like clearing out. And like I said, I've been meditating before, so it's not like I'm coming in completely and utterly gunked. But I've had that like freak out too, because like I was telling Samson, I can't even, it's like above and beyond everything I told you we're giving up. We also like can't read or write. So those two are actually harder for me than speaking and giving up my phone. I'm actually like glad to shut the fuck up and not have any of that. But the reading and writing, like, healing and feeling things come up as far as like ideas, etc., to not be able to like jot that down has given me a little bit of like a sense of like angst going in. But I also reminded myself the other day, like, this isn't a writer's retreat. You're not going in to write a special. You're going in to clear out so that you have a space where you can see exactly what it is that you even want to begin to entertain or work on. So, like, I am going in for all of that. I'm going in for the fuck all of it. The can you do something hard like this? Because, like, I just struggle with discipline. I've never been good with it. I have autism and ADHD and various other drugs at all times just coursing through me. And this is like the first thing breath-wise that could like anchor me to myself to where I found it, like I said, more beneficial to me than actually telling jokes. And then I watched the caliber of my jokes improve just on the improvement of my kind of humanity and my ability to get off like emotional center and into, some loftier positions. and headspaces. But once again, I can see the way you're looking at me. You're like, what comics
No,
are talking like this? Get out of here, bro. Go give your stupid TED talk and leave us boys at the office to say the stupid shit. Because like, but I mean, that's where I'm sitting there like, bro, I don't know what will transpire, but I also remind myself like where I'm like, buddy, if you can't remember an idea for 10 days, if it pops up without writing it down, probably you need to like stop smoking for longer than 10 days and like do some ashwagandha and like some other things to repair your mentals.
Yeah. So what this boy was thinking during that was it seemed like you were comparing a lot of the experiences you're going to have at this retreat to comedy or to a special, like how it'll make you feel compared to like, so are you going like to like help your comedy, or is it just comedy is such a big party that it's kind of hard to not?
Comedy is such a not big part of me that it's amazing that it's my only job.
I see.
My comedy is always improved or benefited by equal and opposite amount of non-stage time. So this will always be the way that I operate. Like I'd rather do this 9/10 of the year and come out and do 10 banger dates exactly the way I want than 150, spots quarterly or more or less. I used to calendar cram, but then I recognized that like based on who I am and since childhood, comedy was like one thing I was like good at. I've always been naturally funny and I emote with dark humor always. Just like couldn't stop from a small to now, but I also like want to do so many other things that I kind of recognized a few years ago that if all I did was comedy, all I would do is comedy. And there's like no part of me anymore that in a job where Rogan and them are the top of the food chain that you can interest me in fame or clout amongst,
Spit.
I mean, sorry, but I don't got a lot to kick it. I'd use my 60 seconds to actually kill Tony. Like that's not and then tell, and then be like, John Deere Gook out. Like I'll raise you an Asian joke that's actually funny. And an Asian that's actually funny. No, no shade to Hans Kim, but fucking you guys suck.
We'll text you in like 10 days, see if you still want to.
We should have you on when you come back through Boise.
60 minutes and I just can't
and
even
we should just play like the things that you said, and then you can just be like, okay, I did do this, and
just in your white shawl, like,
Day 6 is when the crying started and did not stop until day 9.
That's the old me.
Well, and because like also this is the kind of stuff where like it gets so deep into your subconscious that like I'm recognizing that I could have like memories come up that I've repressed. So there's just not a lot that I'm like trying to really, like I said, sort for myself. I'm just like, oh, what needs to be moved will be moved. And I mean, there's nothing I can kind of even block it out with. They've taken all that, So.
Yeah. Anyways, this is Hannah Roeschlein. She is a comedian who is in Chicago, originally from Indianapolis.
Indiana, for
sure. And we met Hannah at the Sunset. Was that what it's called? Fucking in Austin? The Sunset Strip. There we go. And it was during South by Southwest, and I got my name bucket pulled to an empty audience, and we met, and then we've just been keeping up on Instagram, and now she's in town to go to this fucking crazy retreat, so we decided to have her on the Pretty Good podcast. Thanks for being here,
Hannah.
Last
words out.
Yeah.
These could literally be. I mean, I also it's a super remote area, so like at some point something's good just like snapping me and I could just take off for the woods, and then
it's kind of deserty. You'll be
I mean they have the high dives there in
at the Lava Hot Springs.
Yeah,
high dives.
Yeah, they're really fun. They're like
Olympic. They have high dives at the Lava Hot Springs.
Not like in the hot spring, but they have like the same area has like the big pool that has the Olympic platforms and stuff.
That's sick.
Okay.
Do you remember when they used to have that big mossy log in the Bergdorf pool?
But I mean, the whole thing's surrounded by mossy.
No, they had one that would float in the middle that you could just like
Crater
fuck
Lake got
around
one
on.
of those. One of
like
those.
the straight up and down.
That little fucker's been in there
Oh
for.
shit!
Because isn't it haunted or something? Or
Probably.
They say like if they stop it, then they get like hurricanes or something. I didn't look that much
It
into
just
it,
comes
but-
out of the lake.
Yeah.
It's like raising. It's levitating above. Like, I mean, yeah, cool.
Okay, what extreme weather do you guys have in Chicago?
We definitely have extreme weather. I
Bullets?
mean, that's like. You could die in a flurry of bullets.
Do you get tornadoes in Illinois? Is that tornado country?
It could. There could be. Definitely. I haven't ever seen one rip through the loop. But
Yeah, there's not one like just through the center of the city.
no, not yet. Not yet. But it
Ripping
gets like
buildings.
viciously cold in the winters.
Yeah.
I mean, we're right on Lake Michigan. Always cold, and then we'll get very, very also hot.
Yeah,
But all the seasons are coming through the Midwest for the most part.
but it's like on Lake Michigan, with like that's nice, and you can swim in that. It's not too gross around the city.
I mean, you can get in there for
Yeah.
sure.
Phenomenal
They pulled 3
question.
bodies out of there the other day, so I mean, you can just
so
go.
plenty of people are swimming.
Yeah, you can really just like.
Got like massive lake.
Swimming with the
take
fishes.
take a dip.
No,
in
you
Lake
can
Michigan.
surf in that fucker, can't you?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's definitely deep enough. All the Great Lakes are.
I'm
They can
I'm
sink
trying
a
to
Got like
They
10,000.
can
I'm
sink
trying
a
to find
ship,
out about
you
the
know?
amenities, bro. I can't live somewhere without a body of water.
This is
or
an AI
water and
overview
bodies.
of a Google search.
I've never been on Lake Michigan where if I was like high and happy, I couldn't just like look at it and think of it as the ocean. I mean, it has like that much of a presence
That's nice.
where it's like, oh yeah, this isn't like sometimes you just are like, yeah, this is a really lovely lake we're on.
How long have you been in Chicago?
5.
5 years.
Yeah. I
Since-
saw like kind of the handwriting on the wall of the country and I was like, buddy, you're a stoner slut. You better slide to a
What
blue
does that
area.
sentence mean?
I mean, it's like I need to be somewhere where I can easily like buy pre-rolls and plan B.
Nice.
Like if I can't get blunts and boot scoot and boogie a baby, I'm out of there. Like I can't scrub the insurrection out of my voice, but I'm gonna not pay taxes somewhere that I can't control delete a fetus. It's over.
Yeah,
you got
you-
some mystique. Holy shit.
So now you can
Yeah,
see
you see
why.
what I'm
Right.
seeing?
So for sure, no, it's in there. Like I said, this could be the last
Beautiful.
one, last word, last words.
So you have that kind of like Ted Lasso like cadence to you, like
I love that. I've
It all
never seen
kinda-
the show, but I like
everything
that.
kind of rhymes a little bit. Like you have like a.
Good. I'm into that. I'm not,
It's
it sounds like
that
you're talking in sayings.
I feel
Okay,
like
good.
it's partially like being a preacher's daughter almost.
Oh,
It's like
definitely. The lady
having
that
like
saw
a
me.
very performative speech pattern.
Daughter of a preacher man.
I am,
Sings
and the-
that one.
But yeah,
Who
the
does
lady
say
that
that?
saw me in Chicago
Rest
the
in
other night
Springfield.
on Saturday had that kind of like very thing to say where she
Yeah.
was like, she heard me bring up my dad being a pastor. She was like, well, to say you don't have a calling in a pulpit would be a little bit. And I was like, don't do this to me, Dad.
Oh,
But
man.
but at the same time, I'm like, you hear what you hear and
Yeah.
you are as you are. Like I told you all my birthday twins,
Mm-hmm.
like it's in my natal chart to like we said, do everything from like a political assassination to write a hit song to be in a movie.
Yeah.
My birthday, listen to my birthday twins. October 18th. Hannah Roeschlein,
Mhm.
Zac Efron,
Sick.
the singer Neo,
Cool.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Zoran, Mom Donnie,
Oh, really?
and Lee Harvey Oswald. So fuck around and find out all day long. But just know.
I feel like Mike Judge made you.
I think nothing would make some people on the internet happier. I think there's probably some conspiracy theorists about me that just do not say anything about their feelings about me to me. But I mean, like I'm an English major dropout. I happen to just like you can hear these things like you saying that stuff about Ted Lasso. Like I cry because I'm really disconnected from media, which is good.
Ted Lasso's a good guy.
I'm not sure. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. But I hear other things too. People like with me, they just like try to like suss out the vibes and then they'll say however they feel. Like people have like called me Farmoana, Midwest Aquafina, Han of the Hill, Theo Vaughn's sister, wife, cousin, Audrey Plaza vibes, but raised by Reba McEntire. Like, what is this who are you talking to?
These are
I mean,
all
you're a
great
very-
roast jokes.
the internet stays like just writing tags and
Like, if-
precious little things to me, but like
You
all
gotta
of it
know
is
you're
always like,
unique,
If you were in a roast
build,
battle and
right?
someone delivered all 5 of those as their jokes, they
I'm
might
done.
win.
oh yeah, finish him. That's that like Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
moment or where Street Fighter was like boom, and I'm like Hadouken because I'm done. Toast. I'll get off. Don't care. You win. The end.
Charcuterie board of traits.
Yeah, it's a Build-A-Bear of trauma and people going, whoa, we've never seen anything quite like this. Like, yeah, well, I haven't felt like anything like this either.
Yeah.
That's true for all the time.
Maybe that could answer for when you are. Maybe. Yeah.
And that's why I sat there. Not
Steve,
just because like I
you
didn't
need
know
to
we were
talk
potting
more.
and then we came down here. But that's a hot start. That's a spicy, ricey little thing for me to like chew on. And not that I don't have something to say, but I also was like, I want to give this I want to give this a little more. Like, I'd need the cut in a little longer. I think as a kid, I used to, even as an adult, I'm prone to spouting off. And nowadays, I think that's even what meditation and why I want to go do that again to get back into serious, because I can so quickly just lose that. But, because meditation gave me like extra space in between responses, actions, all things. So as like a person who kind of I can say this every time I've been on stage since I started open micing like 8 years ago to when I recorded an album like 2 hours in a row, I've never done like a duplicate set. So like I really kind of like come out of the stream of my consciousness always. I'm like ultra present and in a way that's like I feel like slows me down comedically because it's like so unpredictable and quite frankly pressing out a lot of like gems but in between stuff to where I have to like you got to kind of like mine out where it is and I don't ever like I treat every set as if it were a mic because to me it is. Because just like we saw on last Wednesday, when a person saying their truth had that ended, I recognize that at any given time, for any given reason, violent or otherwise, those are the end of my words, and I like them to be present. I'm going to always talk about what's happening that day for me or otherwise. I think, I'm an English major dropout with clearly a bit of intelligence, so it's not like I couldn't sit down and like press out a mixtape if I want of comedy, but I don't, I have to be the one that goes to sleep with me at night, and I have never felt great doing routines. Of any sort. Like even me going in to do this 10 days is to try to create a routine in ways that I've not been able to in other things, So like I think there will be, of like what we're talking about, a deep benefit to my comedy, but how it manifests itself, we'll see.
Interesting.
But I wanted to clear out because I have too many thoughts. So like as a person who's been thought overwhelmed since the beginning of sitting in my own mind, to be able to just like, hey, whatever's like just kind of dross in here, like, talking about controlled burns, like whatever I can control and burn, I'd like to burn it out.
Yeah.
So that I can just like call in from my own mind, subconscious and otherwise, like, hey, what's the thing? Not all the things. Like I've always had too many things. Like even me saying to you that like comedy is only one of like 10 things that I would hope down the road that people would say after my name. Just shows you, but I also like had to start doing comedy and like focus in on it for a while just to develop that focus. But now that it's like, it can kind of run itself a little bit, even wildly, and has its own, fans and whatever.
Yeah.
Like I got, I've never had a viral video. I do not post clips at all. I have like probably less than 7,500 followers, but I get recognized at Trader Joe's in Chicago. There's just like, I have people now that like scare me to death already as fans. So it's like the thought of just like, needing the attention of a million more like violent, stupid men or even just like dumb cunts. I'm not interested in all of that dialogue. I know that every time I've said something since once again, I was little, it's split a room. On just like, being mixed in bumfuck Indiana, it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Not enough Asians to look at, and you're not Asian enough for them. And then the white side of you never has been presenting like white. So it was like, I was always kind of caught in this place where it was like, oh, if I'm not whole for me, I'll never feel whole in society. So like you guys can, find whatever parts feel fractured when you watch me.
Yeah.
Well, that's something you can come to terms with later. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to like get good, and getting good meant like breaking out of every like fearful or anxious box on like how I would be received to like how my parents would feel. I have an Asian mom and still a pastor dad of a church, and not the kind that are like loosey goose with how they feel about stuff, but the kind I have to sit there and go, well, the Bible I read actually wouldn't have voted for a 2-time pedophile, but we can have this lesser of evil conversation at another time when I don't think you're near death. I love you guys, and I can't let these be my last words. I don't want to say gang violence to my Asian mom, and then, but I like literally left her on the phone the other day saying, so like we are all talking. Alexa, if you can hear me, fuck off. Like I don't care. Just like straighten my algo up and bring forth the incel to complete the cycle. Just as much as
10 days,
just as much as I could Lee Harvey. I've also been I've been asking for somebody to John Wilkes Gook me the whole time. Come on out, come on out, make it a good one. Let me be at Laugh Factory. It's a theater. It's a beautiful backdrop. Come off that balcony, fucking go nuts.
I want to see your act. It looks like a lot of fun.
But that's, I will say this right now, like, not to even, like, toot my own horn, because most of the time it doesn't feel like a great song, and I hate it, too. It's just like, but, I mean, I stayed, like, Saturday night. Those were my last 2 sets in Chicago before I was gonna come over here. And with heaviness in the air from all kinds of, just the violence of today's day and age, just at home and abroad, I elected to stay in said violence and not necessarily like perpetuating it on stage, but not being like, hey, gang, that feels like everyone's coming in and out of a K-hole. You want to hear something about the airplanes? And I was like, hey, I'm gonna bring up that thing that we've talked about, and I'm gonna say a couple things, like like I was telling you. Gen Z riding on bullets, I'm profoundly impressed. But like that kid really dropped one, not putting something silly on there, like Charlie bit me or something. Like that would have killed me, bro. I'm not equipped, but I said that, and we could all have a laugh. That's it. The end. Ha ha ha, platform the gun, get the horns or whatever. I blame podcasts. We're here. I am a part of the problem, and I hope one day to be a part of the solution.
Damn, well, sounds like the only way to do that.
It's very circular.
It is. I mean, to be honest, that's
okay. Here's a fun question:
Go ahead.
If someone were to kill you, what would they write on the bullet?
Woof.
That's a fun.
That is so fun.
Yeah. Their Instagram handle.
Oh, God. Gang, I want you to answer that for yourself. Just let the boys know later by your actions what those casings said. Like, I knew what my casings would say. Like, if I went after, like, I felt like eliminating, I'd just be putting stuff on there like DEI hire. Just those little things, like Luigi, call me. Like,
I like how the pure like meme language from this last one's was like,
I thought it was fake. I had to like really go in
I
again.
thought it was fake too, and like hearing like
again.
News people read it on the news, like, and he's just like, if you're reading this, you're gay, and then he looks at dead into the fucking lens. And he's just
fascist catch. What?
He's just like, huh? But I think on Max's, someone would write nice legs.
That's just like a nice thing. Like,
why can't you fucking compliment someone when you?
Well, I mean, it's just
come on, man.
like
freedom of fucking speech on my fucking.
Yeah, you're more than well. I won't argue with you. If I got shot with a bullet that said "nice legs," I'd be like flattered. But I'd also be like, "Why'd you shoot me in the legs?"
What? Well, that's why I shot you in the arm.
No, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd draw a picture on a bullet, like tiger stripes or something.
Oh yeah, like a little doodle would be fun too. And I think if you
Flames.
doodled like
Doodle
the
would be
doodles, like to put a symbol on a bullet, that opens up something even bigger because now we're getting into archetypes. So it's like you can really channel.
The only thing I'd ever
Some
doodle on a
shit.
bullet is a dick, and that's just like
And that's
where
what
my head
when you were
goes.
asking me that question, I was like, unfortunately, knowing the people that might come spraying me, they're there. They're just gonna like like that carving in of slut, but just like where it's like a very hard,
where it's like the hard like horror movie like
hard.
blood on the wall
or maybe
type.
just like that circle of the girl in the ring. People could do some like fun things, like
What do you carve a bullet with? Like
A Dremel,
what is
probably?
I feel like a Dremel's too big for a.
I mean, I'm Asian. I could write a bunch of stuff on a grain of rice.
Maybe they're just like using like a little thing to scratch. I don't know. Honestly, I've never written on a bullet.
Yeah, are you taking these in? Did somebody,
got him.
there's like there's an old man here in
laser.
Idaho who has an Etsy shop, and he's like,
just selling bullets with
laser
random sayings
engraved.
on them. Like that would be the craziest thing. If the kid didn't write them himself, he like bought them on like
laser
an
engraved,
Etsy
custom
shop.
engraved. Like it's got the dude's watermark on the bottom of it.
That is the world we live in, though. Like- Anyways,
10 days. We'll all set up a group.
10
text,
days.
see
What
if
are you
we're down
coming
to
off
have-
of right now, comedy wise? What shows did you just do?
I had a couple festivals, Columbus Comedy Fest in Ohio, Let's Fest in Indianapolis. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
How many like have you done? You've done like a lot of festivals over the last.
Not as
years,
many
or-
festivals as like you would think. In
Okay.
fact, I'm like in that weird middle bottomless tier of like go fuck yourself with festivals right now where I'm like I really am about to fuck one of you losers so I can just like do this the good old fashioned way, cuz if I can just open up for you instead of feature my way here, I think that's
just for ass.
like, I don't know why I wasn't. Like nothing's ever, if you look at my internet presence
Yeah.
right now, you're like, that ain't a okay. Yeah, hot comic then. Gotcha.
Hot comic.
Spicy. Yeah. Yeah, got it. But I've not managed. I really just like I'm mostly repulsed by a lot of the
Yeah. Just-
choices I have at the office. Like I said, not only as just like a person to look up to want to like work on getting on their podcast, to just like I said, the general loserdom swirling around.
If you had a surgeon and a chef, Hannah, and the surgeon is there to cut off a little piece of you, like maybe $50 size. Not it's gonna heal up. You'll never knew he took anything out. Just a little chunk of you, and then he takes that piece of you and gives it to the chef, and the chef cooks it up the best way that you could possibly cook a person. Would you try yourself?
Yeah, it's just a tiny little clit. Maybe
You get
try
the
your
clit?
I mean, probably because like it's brought me a lot of like so much
You
pleasure,
did
but
say it
also so
heals
much
up.
like and
I
you
guess
said
so,
it.
yeah.
You said it healed up, and plus like if you just read a little bit of history or have any like world knowledge, like no one's ever going to talk about it today with all the fish we have to fry, but like in a lot of the African countries, etc., like they declit like girls from a very young age, and that's a very common
I
practice.
did know about that practice.
So like so that's one of those things
But
where
do
like
they
if
eat them? Is that why they're
Well,
doing
that's
it?
mutilation.
part of the question. You guys are pumping me full of nonsense.
Well, you never said
hypotheticals.
like.
Yeah, that's what this.
Great, and I'm glad, but just like don't
We don't
ask
need
me to line up.
mutilations.
Like don't ask
No,
me to line up
I get
these
it. No,
solar
I'm sorry.
systems.
I'm sorry.
They're not. They're here. They're.
I just thought maybe you heard something like, and
No.
actually the reason they do that is
But
because
also,
it
like, I said,
tastes
so,
great.
so tiny. So, like, I don't even know what it would be. Maybe, like, like a tiny caper.
Yeah, maybe on
Oh,
a cracker or something.
okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, like a tiny amuse-bouche. Like, that's basically the size of, like, a small roe that you'd get, like, at a sushi place.
That's true.
If you got, like, a... Yeah.
So
Like,
you try your clit. All right, that's
I mean, it comes from me. I've tasted my own period blood.
No, yeah,
That's-
You know, like,
Yeah.
or something like that. So it's like, I prefer, like, I know what I also ingest.
yeah.
So, like, I'm okay. I know what this free range clit's about. I mean, it's going to have a little bit of, like, animal byproducts and
Free-range.
microplastics. I still swallow.
That's everything.
Even the alkaline water I get comes in plastic. Like, we're damned if we do, damned if we do.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah, no, I
But,
think-
yeah, it's mine. This is not a stranger's clit.
No, right. It was just normally the answer we've gotten is like yeah or no.
And I worked like 18 years in fine dining. I'm over here like, but honestly, they could probably like do a little quick saute, like a button mushroom.
Tender, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
probably nice.
Yeah, no one's
marinade
ever
might go for-
defined like just like so quickly like what part of them.
I wanted
They
rid of
would.
it. You said it, and you said like painless or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've done cum.
Yeah.
I've done cum so much that I, could have had a psychotic break from that at some point. You know, we're from
That makes it sound
Indiana.
like cum's like a drug.
Yeah, I done cum. I done cum.
10
I
10
done
days.
cum. I've been just main veining. I done cum.
10 days
I
off
done
of
cum. Yeah, that's yet another thing. So like, think about all these things that
No
like
coffee or cum.
Oh my god.
no cold
You
brew or
can't
cum, buddy.
jerk it.
You're not supposed to. It's
You're not supposed to jork it?
It's expressly written in the code of conduct to just like abstain because it's in the Buddhist tradition. They're trying to like you're trying to rid yourself of like all what they call the great hindrances, like Maya or illusion. So like all of that like sensory shit has to go.
Yeah.
It has to go. But like, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about the coming part because like I'm so overcome that I
Overcome what?
just let it be that. No, there's no. I'm just so overcome.
Okay.
No, she's
I'm
overcome.
So overcome. It's always with me, and that's another like wacky part of the Hannah-dom of like the way I talk on stage or off stage, and that you're processing right now, is that things will come out like we're saying in multiple like I have to be like
The outcome.
what did you mean by that? So like, where they talk to fucking Hemingway about the old man in the sea, and I remember reading a letter that he had written to a friend where he's like, a whale is just the fucking whale, and the boy is the boy, and the this is the this, and they've made it all la-di-da-di-da.
Yeah.
And I always smile just like knowing forever and ever, especially whatever survives into posterity or enters into like the overall canon of work, my discography per se, is gonna have people assigning a lot to it because like in like even when ways that like I often write through speech. And then I'll take it onto paper later. I can sit
do
down
that
and
too.
write, but I don't have a strong writing practice. In fact, like I said, when I was airing out all that craziness on Saturday, I did not know, but up in the balcony at Laugh Factory, there was industry there, and they had all just gotten done at JFL, and they were watching another comic,
Oh shit.
but they saw me.
Yeah.
And it caused two of them to come up to me after. Like I said, I felt like I did a set that like drained us all. Needed, said, fine that I said it. That's my 1A. But also just like I felt the muck of it. But I stayed in it because like that's where I always am. I am there, and that's okay. Let's all praise the Lord. But the two that came up to me later were very much like, bro, like, huh? And even one of them, and like later on, following them, they both like are in Hollywood producing like films and movies and things with like A24 and stuff. And like one of those bitches told me point blank, like no one talks or sounds like you with this particular vantage point in the whole of our business. And that's like a really fried up thing to hear, where like if I'd heard that as like a kid or in times where I hadn't done like ego work or understanding like that could really like mess me up. But I also am like, like I said, I've seen things and just like understood myself to at least possess something that caused people to take pause,
Yeah.
get quiet, give ear, and then always have something to say about it one way or the other, which was like, hey, we fucking love you, or like, the fuck is that about? So at this point, nothing to do but kind of like ride that out.
Yeah.
But the reality is like, everything they saw, like I was saying, I was like, yeah, I'm glad that you guys got to see like a, or taste and experience like a Cuban sandwich. But like, I went through the press for that.
Yeah.
But I-
You know, like I'm burnt. And
Yeah.
like I got grill marks on my face. Like,
Yeah.
arriba. Yeah, awesome. You
Fuck.
know, but being very serious about that. But that was
Yeah.
also like another moment where even as a kid from Nowheresville, Indiana, without a following, just like hearing people in Hollywood be like, no one's talking like this. What? You know, but it's like
Yeah.
it was even bigger to me of just like a greater symptom of creativity at large. It didn't like necessarily make me feel like I was the only one, but it did make me aware that like the ones that aren't necessarily coming out to say anything, or like what you were talking about, like the people who would make the best politicians don't run.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that if I'd have walked like a straight and narrow path, I could have easily been an AOC type.
Yeah.
I hear myself talk. People like have told me everything from like when I was like smaller too, of like, oh, I think one time a person, when I first started comedy, they're like, we think you're using comedy as a guise for serial killing. And we're going to find out later that like, you know, and what hot,
Yeah.
hot those documentaries. And no, I'm coming, you know, like I'm not playing around with, you're going to see something silly
Yeah.
happen. But you know, like no, but also just I've also heard people be like, oh yeah, like if you started a cult, for sure people would go to it, you know. So it's just like more of like that a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So like just kind of knowing that like no matter what I would say would have an effect, you know, just like makes me more aware of like what I am saying.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm also just like not fearful in that way. Like definitely whatever autism and things that I've got have like wired me to like not feel the same kinds of like trepidation that people do from saying things or doing things.
Mm-hmm. Trepidation. Word of the day. Pretty good word of the day. Trepidation. Sorry. I had to identify that. That's a great word.
Yeah. When are you?
Four
Trepidation.
syllables.
That's it's a really good vocab word.
It is, because, you know, and that's like it.
Trepidated the other day. Yeah.
I don't know what it means, so
Well, just, I mean, it's that feeling of like approaching something with some like caution.
I could have
You know,
figured that
so
out.
like,
with
you know,
context clues.
trepidation, like, you know, I'm based on like what you're saying to like standing on the side of like the Grand Canyon. Like when you feel a feeling of like trepidation, you're just kind of like, but I have always not felt that.
I get that.
So like, I remember even people being like, I can't believe you said that, like way before comedy. And I was always like, I can't believe you guys have like something in you that's stopping this from coming up. Where is that, and
Yeah.
how do I get on that? Like, are they able to do something to me that I can develop trepidation?
Yeah,
And
we're
especially
special.
now, you know,
Yeah.
It's from God.
so yeah, I'll just be with my no trepidation ass, have an ass tomorrow in Hot Springs, just looking at people and saying more with my
You
eyes.
at least get to like sit in the hot springs.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Fuck, dude. That's like
Warm shower at least.
brutal.
Yeah,
Alright, that's
they
cool.
they said there's a shower.
Nice.
They didn't use the words warm or not warm.
Oh no.
But I'm okay with that. I also in some of those like healthy random hard things that I've started to do, like I'll do cold plunges. I'm known to like any body of water that I'm near,
They're
any
nice.
temp almost I'll jump in.
Bathroom. I'll be right back.
Toodles.
I got kind of into cold plunging over the last year. I got in a car wreck, and I would like either jump in the river or just do like a cold bath or shower, and then I have like it's like a sleeping bag, but it heats up to like sauna temperatures.
Good,
Just
I've
going,
got
like,
one of
cold
those
to
too.
hot. And I guess isn't it just called like hot cold therapy or something?
Sure, but I
whatever
mean,
it is,
but it works.
helps. It helps a
No,
lot.
but it works. Those
Yeah.
two things more than a lot of things, you know,
It's like
are
I
what's
didn't do it-
missing.
I didn't do it for like the first week, just 'cause I could barely get out of bed, sort of thing. And then as soon as I could, like less than a week, I was like, there we go.
And the cold therapy is a little bit beyond, like, you know, where it becomes like one of those things where I loved it because when I was doing those, like, I would just try to like incorporate if I couldn't get into a body of water, and I don't own one of those like little horse troughs and I'm not going to fill it up with ice every day. So like I would just do some cold showers too, or just turn it all the way as cold as I could get it for anything from like 3 to 5 minutes is what I was like trying to like work up to. But I noticed with that, it was just like, I could almost like replace coffee at that point, like an
You feel
extreme
good.
caffeine addiction, because like you get in there, that shit will wake you up in a way that like caffeine sustainably cannot. It like shoots around some of that. And like that's like the hardest wake up that I could have to like go after that, you know, and it's also tough as fuck. So like, even when you know what it is, you know that you're okay to do it. It just still never really gets easy to go in and do it. So it became one of those things yet again, like this meditation where I was like, oh yeah, if I do a cold shower, a set won't be as hard as this. So like, I always like to incorporate those like things in my life that constantly remind me of how not actually difficult Clown Town is. Where you can like apply yourself. Clearly there are levels to this shit. I'm not acting like I'm Rory or some of like the ones I really look up to, and that you can't get there without some work and like passage. But overall, boy, we're given just like a lot of time and thought to something that has to just like be done day in and day out, and trying to figure out how to just like get into locations instead of just move through, you know, it all. Like, I think we're just like, we're in that era. And unfortunately anymore, I even think about it when I'm traveling at times where like flying, where it's like, oh, it's so convenient to go on a flight from like Indy to New Jersey, but you'll see none of the ground. So like you miss everything on like the points in between. And there's like, that's just a commitment I have anymore to like my own humanity and how I want to like explore life with whatever time we have left in this particular frame and simulation, is that like I would not lose those marginal spaces. Like you can't make me sit on lines I don't like or on pieces of paper that aren't mine. I don't even have to acknowledge, like, frankly, any of it. So, like, you know, just knowing you can do it however, I've been thankful to move in that way.
Yeah. That's when you are.
Yeah, I mean, it is. But that's why I also had trouble with that question, whereas, like, I didn't even want to get silly with it because my brain was like, what did he ask? When are you? Okay.
It's a way to, like, you know, stomp the yard kind of thing.
Sure.
Like, just throw you off for a minute, to, you know. But that being said, we're about at our time quota here.
I'm into that.
But I think we definitely exceeded our word quota. We definitely hit all of the characters we needed to. But also, it was really fun. You got some insights.
I'm gonna be watching this back as like this is my like reality check.
There's a good chance this might be 20 minutes long when it comes out because we had to take out 30 minutes of
fine
saying shoot me. But
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
for sure. Reduce it down. I think that concentrate is,
maybe
you know,
Patreon.
as we know from Dabs. Oh, for sure. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
That's the reason I even created my OnlyFans years ago, where I was like, oh,
We'll put that below.
Pay me.
Yeah, I have one.
Pay me. You know, just like, hey, listen, I don't need not everyone needs access to these streams.
Totally.
You know, even biblically, I'm gonna leave you with something that will really fuck you guys up so you can chew on it. One of the weirdest Bible verses that's out there is, do not cast pearl before swine.
Oh, like the newspaper comic.
But just kind of like being like, hey, like even like to talk to people on podcasts that aren't in a position to receive it is a waste of energy. Like that's kind of what that like, no, but that's like what that quote is kind of saying. Like when you got that higher stuff, or, you know, like not even to be like, I'm better than you and I'm up here on whatever, but I'm experiencing and working in things that the majority of people I talk to are not. They know meditation, but they're not even like beginning to sit down with it, let alone, you know, like move through strain. So like I would find myself like wanting to like get out of judgment on things, and you kind of realize that you're in that because you want so much of everyone to like be where you are and to absorb what you're saying, but there's certain things that just simply are not. You know, so it's
That's
okay if we kind of like keep this from some of the dummies or, you know, the people that just maybe
actually shoot Hannah. I guess is the...
Yeah, for real.
gang violence.
Yeah, save the day. You on Instagram or something? I don't know.
Yeah. And to be honest, I shut all my other socials down leading into this because I knew when I came out, I did not want to return to the internet the way I had been. So everything is closed except my Instagram at Handerpump Rules.
Nice.
Yeah, don't ever act like it's too serious, or I'll,
That was fun.
or I'll take you right back down into the depths of
Is
where
the
we're at.
OnlyFans a real thing too? Can
Yeah.
we put that on
At Hand Canyon 69.
Nice. Hand Canyon.
Yeah, Hand Canyon. It's one of the nicknames for my pussy. But if you got $9.11 a month, that's what it costs, because I'm a patriot, just not a racist. And so you can pony up and see the lewds that I post that I send to the dudes I actually doink. Nothing's on there that's not already in Gen Pop. So like, show my butthole or whatever, and give me like. And I know at any point when that all gets leaked, at some point, I only put good ones out.
Nice.
Your
So
pastor
it will
dad?
benefit.
We link
I'm
his
not-
church.
I dox my own
Go
dad.
check him out. Go check out a sermon from our boy.
After a night of OnlyFans, you can spend the morning with.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, yeah. Anyways, Hannah, this was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thank you. I've enjoyed it also. When am I? Never. Bye.
Boy.